Now we are going to, again, visit another area of OSINT. Diversity is so important for our industry, for our ideas to understand all of the different parts of OSINT, of the OSINT world, whether you're dealing in social media, whether you're dealing in other areas of open source intelligence. The next talk by Igor Maximo is about VIPs, very important persons. And what I like about it is that Igor is a cyber threat intelligence person, and I'll just read his bio so that you can get to know him a little bit better. Igor Maximo is a cyber threat intelligence consultant at iSecurity Incorporated, which is involved in threat intelligence, OSINT, and deep dark web activities. Sounds ominous. He's also passionate for all kinds of intelligence sources, including SOCMINT, social media intelligence, GeoINT, geographic intelligence, geospatial intelligence, and image intelligence as well. And Igor likes to play and enjoy the fun part of CTFs, capture the flags, to solve puzzles through the internet. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Igor with leveraging VIP's attack surface through OSINT. Take it away, Igor.
Thanks, Micah, for the introduction. Okay. As Micah has said, my name is Igor. I am a cyber threat intelligence consultant. I'll be talking about leveraging VIP's attack surface through OSINT. So first of all, before we start, I like to define what an attack surface is. So basically, the attack surface is all the possibilities of an attacker to use to leverage and breach a company or a person. And I'll be talking about gathering this kind of data on the open source data sources. Okay. So first, this talk is based on an article that was originally published on the Pentest magazine last year. So it's just a video version of the article. I added some things and I removed some other things, and I'm giving this talk right now. Okay. So before we start, I'd like to bring up here two news of the last years. Some of you might already know, but here two cases of VIPs that were harmed in some way. One virtually, and another one was physically harmed by giving by what these two news have in common. So one of them, the Twitter CEO, was hacked using a SIM swapping technique, and his account has been hacked using this. And the other one was the manager of Eximo Bitcoin exchange. The method to use to find the Eximo manager was through leaked travel plans. I don't know how these travel plans have been leaked, but this is how he has been kidnapped. So the one thing in common between these two events is their personal identifiable information has been leaked on the internet. So here we have different cases that originally was the information that was used was leaked information about them, not necessarily a technical information as a password or an account and an email address, was their personal identifiable information. Okay. Here's an example of a well-known forum on the dark web. Many of you might already know this forum. I'm not going to say the name, but many of you already know, just for showing this picture. So here we have an article on a post that was published by a user of this forum that he was just basically posted a lot of information about C-level people, such as email addresses, phone numbers, passwords, and he was selling this information on the dark web. So a little bit about me. My name is Igor, as you know. I'm a threat and dark web intelligence at iSecurity. It's a company that is based in Canada. But I'm from Brazil. I live in Brazil, specifically in the state of Ceará. This is actually not the flag of Brazil. This is the flag of Ceará, the state that I was born. Okay, so I'm also an investigator, and I am a certified threat intelligence analyst for the AC Council. Okay, so a little bit about the agenda of this talk. First, I'm going to introduce some terms and define some things. After this, I'm going to show you some methodology of collection analysis that I usually use on my investigations. A few techniques and tools about that I use to collect VIP's data, only using the open source intelligence. And at the final part of the presentation, I'm going to show some conclusions. Okay. So VIPs, who are they? What they do? How they live? What they eat? So for you that do not know, VIPs stands for a very important person. So basically, is a person that has a high influence within the company or some other organization. Okay, basically, usually they are the C-level partners or managers of this company. They could be also be the board of directors of their company, and basically the decision-making people, the people that makes decision, the important decision of the company. Okay, so after this definition, I ask myself, aren't we forgetting someone that is important too on an organization on the network level? Yes, I personally consider the network administrators and security administrators as a VIP because despite of the fact that they don't have influence of decision in the company, they have usually high privileges of access within the company. So if they are compromised, they could to lead the company to a breach or a hack or something like this. So I consider them as a VIP too. So the same importance of the data of the common VIPs are also the importance of data of network administrators and security administrators. So methodology and collection. So I recommend before you start investigation, you ask yourself some key questions. So basically, there's three questions that are highly important to answer before you start digging on the internet. So I ask, what is the purpose of your investigation? So you have to know what you're going to do if you receive a case or an incident. You have to know. You have to define define this clearly on your head. What's the purpose? So what are you trying to accomplish? So what is the final result of your investigation? And more importantly, what does a customer want answered, right? So there's no if you even if you bring a lot of data, a lot of results to on your investigation, you manage to collect a lot of important information. If that's not what your customer want, it would be like nothing to him. So I think because my point is you have to define your objective on your task and know what you are going to accomplish and do this. Okay. So about the data of VIPs that can be collected. So here I listed a couple of them that are important on investigation. Okay. So the name, the picture, description, email address, telephone number, and VIP assistant contact detail, which is a rarely are is fine, but it is still possible to find the VIP assistant contact details. So where from I extracted this kind of data? So if you, I don't know if you noticed, but every time you visit a company's website, you have a session called about us, our team, something like this. It's basically a page that just shows the VIPs. It shows the people that work in that company, what they do, how to contact them. So this is I think this is a marketing page purpose where the company wants to show the people, its customers who are managing their company. But in my point of view and point of from the perspective of an also investigator, there could be there's possibility to be valuable information on that page. So the name, this is the basic information. You can get this easily. The picture, I'm going to show you on the next slide how to use each one of this information on an OSINT. Okay. So another tips for an efficient data collection phase is for you to not waste your time on useless things. So answer the key questions that I mentioned before, which is basically the requirements that you have to know what you are going to look for. So another tip is to follow a well-defined process and framework. So I recommend this is actually something that I learned from one of Michael's presentations on YouTube that I watched. And it's to follow a well-defined process as before you start an investigation or a search, you have to know what phases do you usually are more efficient to use. So I don't know, Google Doc, social media search. I don't know. It is important to follow a well-defined process if you want to be objective on your investigation. Okay? So one thing that I like to say is actually written here is the amount of data is directly proportional to the chance of you getting lost if you decide to not follow the process. So it basically means that the amount of data on the internet is huge, right? So if you're looking to something that is pretty generic, if you do not follow a process, you will get lost easily and will not manage to find what you're looking for. This is basically what the meaning is. So one thing that I love to do, that I do, it is not only for investigations, but a lot of things that I have to decide. I use a mind map. There's a lot of mind maps on the internet to download freely. I specifically use XMind. It's very important to me to use a mind map tool because I turn my thoughts and materialize these thoughts in a mind map, and I can process data a lot more easier. Okay. So this is an example of the page that I was talking about. So basically, I use the Google Doc here to find the leadership, a page called leadership in the title. So a lot of different companies have this same style of page where the VIPs are listed. And usually the VIPs have the names, their email addresses, the phone numbers, and the descriptions. So basically in this doc, I search for a page that is titled as leadership and has a phone number and has an email address. So the leadership keyword here can be changed to a lot of different things. And it could be our team, it could be board of directors, it could be about us. You can find a lot of different information based on your keywords. So in this example, I used the leadership and came these results. Okay. So this is what looks like the page that I was talking about. So usually it's a page that has all the pictures of the VIPs and the positions on the company, what they do, what they are responsible for. And you can see here the picture, the description. Okay. It's an example of not only the definition of usually when you find a VIP page like this, it's not listed only the position, it has a very descriptive details of many times you find that this VIP is connected to another company that is not the company that you are doing your investigation. So you can gather this data and put it on your mind map for future use if it's going to be usable. So here let's assume that I I searched for a leadership page. I found a VIP that I chose, and I got his email address. So I searched for his email address and I excluded the company website, and I got the Twitter of this VIP. So here's as an example. The same email address that was listed on the VIP page, it is also available on the social media of this VIP. So here if this VIP is not using this account for strictly professional course, if it is a personal account, you can use either for social engineering, collecting other important information that might be on the bio of his Twitter account, or any other additional information that could be useful on your engagement. Here's another thing that you can find. Many companies have their a lot of hidden pages that are PDF files that are hosted on their website that is signed documents. Sometimes these documents have to be public, sometimes are not. But even the documents that have to be public by law, they can be dangerous to a company. For example, some hospitals have to the government obligates the hospital to host the some signed contracts on the internet with the signature of some VIP. So my point is, you can find this type of documents on these websites and use the signatures to leverage some kind of attacks, such as phishing emails. You can forge a document for another cyber attack. You can impersonate the VIP. You can act as like as the VIP to harm some other VIP or to harm a partner. Okay. So here again we have the list of the kind of data that we can extract from a VIP. Okay, that is usually found on the company's website. So I'm going to show you how to leverage the data. So I like a lot to use the reverse techniques on OSINT. Basically, reverse it means that you gather a data and you try to link this data to another to other sources, that kinds of sources. For example, reverse who search. You can grab the email address of the DIP and try to do a who search and try to find on other domain names that are related to that DIP, what the domain names that has been registered on this on his name, and also the image that is most of the times it is available on the companies. The image of the VIP, you can try to search, reverse search for that image on the internet and try to find other places on the internet that photo has been hosted. One thing that I like a lot is the username lookup. If you manage to find the email address of the VIP, you can delete the domain. You get a name, username, and you use that username to do a reverse username lookup on some tools that I'm going to show you on the next slides. And you can find if this VIP has accounts on another websites or platforms or whatever. The same things applies to email search. And here, this last technique is I like to use when I don't find the username of VIP. So I know the name of him, but I don't know his email address. So I basically try to use the name that I know and try to guess the real username of him. So I like say John Doe is his name. I use a tool that will permutate. We'll use these two strings to generate a lot of different usernames. So after I get this list, I can use this list to test on a brute force attack or something like this. So here's an example of a mind map that I paid for these techniques. So for the name, you can use reverse whiz. For the telephone number. The telephone number, that is also the technique that is Matthias showed in a lot of details. That is the telephone number reverse search. You can extract a lot of important information of the telephone number that has been explained by Matthias on his presentation of leveraging OSINT in mobile applications. So I'm not even going to this topic because Matthias has explained it quite well. So for the picture, you can use the reverse image search, and the image address you basically can use for a lot of different techniques. Okay, including liquid credentials on the dark web. So here's an example of a tool. I, I must say that the important thing in this presentation is not the tools, but the technique. So the tools is just a way to demonstrate in practical way the technique. Okay. So this is an example. I chose a random username, a random email address to search on the reverse Wiz. So it came back with a lot of domain names here, a lot of strange domain names, but it's an example. Okay, so you can use After you find the email address of the VIP, you can try to reverse voice search his email and try to find another pivoted points to look for. You can even find another, if your engagement as an offensive security professional, you can even find another website that is vulnerable if you're doing a black box and they have a wider scope. Okay. You can find sometimes personal blogs that I don't know, the VIPs push for some reason he has registered in this company domain. So here's an example of a reverse searching image. I basically took a picture of a monkey here that I extracted from one source, and it is basically found the same picture or the same or is very similar picture on another website. So you can, for example, use the VIP image here and try to use a reverse image tool to try to find another sources, another places on the internet that this picture is hosted. Okay. Here we have What's My Name app, which is a awesome tool. You can use the reverse username search here. You can basically search for the username and the tool will retrieve where the username has been found. This tool has also, I think, been shown on the materials presentation. So here is that case that I mentioned that when I don't know the email address of that VIP, I basically took the name. I tried to find his complete name, all his name, like John Smith Alberto. So this tool basically they use the tool used the four strings words and try to give me all the combinations, different combinations for the use of these names. So basically I get these usernames and I put the email address or the domain name of the company on the last part of the name and try to find a valid email address. So here we have an example of is actually is similar to the email address reverse search, but here we have this tool uses the technique of password recovery. So you can inform it the email address of the target and also the names. And the tool will try to find a lot of different information in Google on breaches and pastes and try to find a lot of if the target has accounts on different platforms. Okay, so this is basically the meaning, the purpose of this tool. So here it is an updated version of that last mind map. So with the name, the name of the VIP, we can from the name we can try to find his social media. We can try to find third-party websites, profiles, personal blogs. The picture, basically, you on the most of the times you can't really predict what you are going to find based on the picture. So I put basically digital footprints because it's some general information that could be important on your investigation. So the description here, it shows the roles, previous company that the VIP has worked, and the email addresses. So this is all the reconnaissance phase. It's basically a passive way to collect data. Okay. On this other type of data, you can actually perform some action. This is type of attacks that you can use after you gather that data. Brute force, phishing, vishing, smishing, social engineering. Okay. So to conclude here, I'd like to say a few points that as a conclusion. Okay, so executive digital exposure could lead to physical risk. That's the example that I showed on the first slide that I showed that news of the ex-small Bitcoin manager that has been physically harmed, that was kidnapped in Kiev because of the travel plans that has been leaked. Okay. So in my personal perspective, VIPs are not just C-level persons, are not just the strategic people. They are also the people that have high access on the company, and they're also VIPs. So I think this is it. I think
Awesome. Thank you, Igor.
uh,
And thank you for presenting. Like I said, the links to tools and resources are right there, and also in the Slack channel for Igor, we've already posted his presentation, which has some of these things. You've gotten a whole bunch of great comments in your hallway channel there. A lot of them were coming from the fact that you were using a methodology. You mentioned things like, if you don't use a methodology, you're going to have a problem when you get overloaded with data. And then showing the ways that you organize that data using mind map and other techniques. Well done. Thank you so much for doing that.
thank you,
And thank you for
Michael.
presenting here.